So I was watching a podcast from Hello 7 the other day. It was yesterday. And it was like how to be $1 million business in this economy. And so I was listening to the podcast. It's by Rachel Rodgers, by the way. Shout out to her in that podcast. It was phenomenal. And it reminded me of the season from when I started in business, 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019, okay? That was my start in business. Back then, what I did, I was mostly a blog writer. I didn't mess with social media marketing too much at that time. I wasn't into email at that time yet. I was more from a PR standpoint, a SEO, website content, structure, messaging standpoint, creating websites for dozens and dozens of businesses at what they would call back then content mills, where you're a writer, you have to write all of this website copy. You quickly have to identify the unique selling proposition. You quickly have to know how to position this website. So we'd write the 5-page website, turn it in, no problem, okay? So that was how I started in digital marketing, website writing, blog writing, all of those wonderful things. But in the podcast, she was talking about how from 2020 to 2022, we had a big shift in business and in the business realm when COVID happened. The pandemic, everything that happened, the PPP loans, the funding, all of the just free-flowing resources that were around during that time. But now a lot of entrepreneurs have gone out of business. Small businesses, large corporations are going out of business and shutting down their stores. And people are like, is this still a good time to start a business? And it's like, yes, it's 100,000 times a good time to start a business. It's like the only time to start a business. With the age of AI, we're quickly going to see that those who do not have ownership of their assets and their time through entrepreneurship, through holding their small corporation, you're going to have trouble 5 to 10 years from now when certain jobs that are generic become obsolete. So this is the prime time, number one. Number two, she was talking about, and I talk about this all the time on my podcast, The Introvert Marketer, and on my Instagram at Tiffy G Writes into my email list, about how that time period, 2020 to 2022, was like a super high in business. But business, just like anything in life, has ebbs and flows. And so if you're finding yourself in a down season right now in business, your question should be, how can I create more longevity with my customers? How can I speak to the minimum viable market? Because small business owners don't need this vast amount of subscribers, this vast amount of an audience for their business to make multiple 6 figures and 7 figures. And even for you as a company to partner with multiple $1 million businesses like we have over the past 8 years. We've partnered with multiple $1 million companies in e-commerce and healthcare and skincare and finance and education technology and HR and all of these different realms because of our unique selling proposition and the way that we tell vivid stories online, okay? And so that's something that I want you to understand in these times. Now, I also wrote down a few other tips for you, a few other mindsets that you're gonna have to overcome if, the key word is if you want to have a successful business and leave inheritance for your children through your business legacy and through owner's intent and passing that down to your children, because that's something that we have been dealing with, something that we're doing, hiring our children into the business, getting their positions ready so that when they turn 18, they're not looking to McDonald's, they're not looking to Wendy's down the road, they're not looking to Walmart or all these little places. Instead, we're giving them on a silver platter, hey, this is the family business. You can take it in this route, this route, this route. Here's your creativity and your freedom to have that innovation to do with it, which you see is right for it, right? Giving your children that space. So if you also want to do that for your children, your nieces and nephews, if you want to employ people in our community, because you know our community can't depend on anybody but us. That's like a fact. Other than the Most High, our community, we have to take accountability for the amount of jobs and opportunities and the knowledge that we pass on, not just to our children, but also to the people around us. And so you may be stagnant and lukewarm right now in business. You feel like you don't know how to make a decision, but this is the perfect time to leave that lukewarmness at the door, because being lukewarm and being half in, half out in business is going to reap the fruits of a half in, half out business. You want multi-6-figure revenue. You want to leave a legacy. You want to establish your LLC and do business across the globe from Africa to America. You're gonna have to leave the stagnant, lukewarm mindset behind and step into a spirit of excellence, which is being able to make executive decisions and sticking to them. This is for people unapologetically, by the way, people that are unapologetic about, hey, I know that I need to bring wealth to my community, to my family. I know that I deserve it. I know that it's part of my birthright, and I'm ready to take the steps necessary for that to happen. So that's number one. That's the number one mindset hurdle you need to overcome. Number two, you probably know websites are important. You may have a website for your business already, but when you read the website copy, you're like, I don't know. I didn't really know what I was doing. I was just trying to wing it. And that's fine when you're first starting out, right? But when you want to become an enterprise and you have to begin to act like the business you want to be, act like the person you want to be, because that's the only way to get there, to start practicing it now. When you want a thriving business, you want to serve clients, you know you have this expertise in education, consulting, in wellness products, in finance, in marketing. Some people are graphic designers. You have all of this expertise that's tried and true and has been refined. But when it's time to articulate that expertise on your website, it's really not happening. There's gaps in your messaging. When people come across your website, they may even be confused, or they may feel like, oh, this feels like ChatGPT wrote it. And so it won't resonate with them on a deeper level, right? That's okay if you're selling a $13 ebook, something like that. But when you have luxury products, luxury real estate, luxury things that you're selling, high ticket items, you can't go the cheap route and then expect people to pay top dollar, right? So you have to practice what you're trying to preach and practice what you want people to do. Are you having the integrity in your business to actually properly structure your website content and your messaging? Because that's the core and the foundation of everything that you do. And so people who are ready to get to their next level, and this time they know that their branding guide and website is the foundation for funding, for clients, for strategic partnerships, and for global growth. There are grants out there with your name on it, business funding with your name on it, partnerships, strategic endeavors that are cross-continental. But if your foundation of your branding guide and website is written by robots, and when you speak to people in person, they can tell you don't know what you're talking about, that is a red flag, right? That's a huge red flag. And so entrepreneurs who are going to make it the next 5 to 10 years, they already know my website copy, my branding is the foundation. From that, you have that clarity to create your social media content, to create your sales enablement content, to go in and do strategic partnerships across the world like we have been doing and like our clients have been doing, right? So that's number two. Number three, you have a business, but you think marketing is not mandatory, okay? And I want to help you to understand this in a better mindset, okay? If I could cross out the word marketing, we understand we're talking about marketing, but for the next few minutes, I'm going to use a different word. You think education is not necessary for your business. You think you don't need to educate your audience. You're not willing to educate yourself, and your business will fail like that, because education is the lifeblood of a business in sales. People can't come to a buying decision if you don't educate them. People won't know who you are until you're willing to show up every single day, except the Sabbath, right? Show up every single day and educate them. Not market to them, not sell to them, educate them so that they understand what it is you're offering, so they can make the ethical decision and say, okay, this is for me or this is not for me. Either way, take that pressure off of yourself and just understand that your whole goal is to educate someone so that they can make a wise decision for themselves, for their family, for their trajectory. You have to educate someone. And the reality is that businesses that are going to thrive and continue to thrive for 5 to 10 years and leave a legacy for their children, their community, and the global network that they're working in, they know that education is the foundation of all things marketing. They know that it is actually rude and a bit arrogant to think that they don't need to spend time to educate the people amongst whom they want to work with, right? That's rather arrogant to feel like you can just start a business and then not show up online, not be around for any speaking engagements, kind of just sit out and go do your thing without educating and communicating with the community. You won't have a business if this is your mindset. But those of you who already know education is a principle that you need to expand in business, then you're on the right track, okay? And the last one, you want to be social. You want to be on social media, but you don't know how to convert. You probably already have your Facebook business profile, your LinkedIn business profile, and you're like, great, I just started them. I put my business name in there, LLC, and I started it. I put my website in there. I don't post on there a whole lot because you feel like you don't know what to post. And so you're on Instagram, you're like, okay, I made the business page, now why aren't the customers coming? It goes back to the previous point where you have to show up every day to educate that audience on social media and be building your email list at the same time, so that when it's time to have those assets in your business, you can make the decision. For example, we're at a point in our business where our email list has grown so incredibly over the past few years, from LinkedIn, from our free lead magnets, our free resources, from the network and strategic partnerships that we've created, that we don't have to be on social media all day. We are so thankful for that. But if you're new to business and you have not built up that rapport, you have not built up that following and that audience, and you're like, why won't people buy from me? It's because there's nobody there to buy from you. And so you have to build up the audience base. I would advise that you do both social media building and email marketing in tandem. This is the biggest mistake we made in business in 2016, 2017. We did not understand the value of email marketing. We went mostly the website only route, right? So we were mostly focused on the website and blogging, not realizing that you need to build before they come. And so this is your prime time to do just that. Build before they come. Build that email list before they come. And what you're going to find is that you have people that are ready to be educated because you understand that it's bigger than you. So if you're afraid right now, I implore you, understand that your business is bigger than you. You may have been the one to start the business, but you won't be the last one working in the business. You won't be the last CEO for that business. Your community, according to the standard operating procedures that you create, your community is going to be able to come in and to take that baton that you gave them and run with it for the legacy, the trajectory, and the generations after you and around you. So if this helped you out in any way, leave a comment down below. Feel free to book your free session to find out if Black Educators Amplified is right for you, because we go over your 20-question framework during weeks 1 and 2. Weeks 3 and 4, we go over your website messaging and copy. Weeks 5 and 6, we go over video marketing and email marketing. And then weeks 7 and 8 in the program is your launch time, okay? So if you want more information, you have some personal questions, things you want answered, go ahead, check out the link in the description while free spots last to inquire about the program. They're only available for the next week or so because we begin on October 7th. So we can't wait to see you. Talk soon.